Hello and welcome to another edition of Bet Analysis here at Life of a Punter. This week we will review the bet that we took in the Toulouse versus PSG match in week 21 of Ligue 1. The strategy that we use when selecting bets is that we look for stats that are 75% or higher and are consistent across three criteria: head-to-head stats, team versus group stats, and current form. So let's use the matchday page to find stats for this game. The bet that we ended up taking was match goal over 0.5, which was placed in the second half. This game was played on Saturday the 16th, so we're just going to scroll down and click on Toulouse versus PSG to view the stats. In the banner image, you can see current form for each team. Toulouse has only won 2 of their last 6 games and are a Group 4 side, against PSG, who have won 5 of their last 6 and are a Group 1 side. I'm going to view our first criteria, which is head-to-head stats, and I'm going to select the last 3 seasons. In the last 3 seasons, these teams have played 6 times. PSG has won 5 times, drawn 1, lost none. This seems to be a high-scoring fixture, as shown by average match goal of 3.33. And there's been a goal in the first half in all these past 6 games in the past 3 seasons between these two sides. Looking specifically at Toulouse, they've only scored in 50% of this fixture head-to-head, but they've conceded in 100%. So this tells us definitely backing a PSG goal, which is a no-brainer because they're so dominant in Ligue 1. But what we're going to ask ourselves the next question is, when is that time of goal going to come? Looking at PSG, time of first goal before, looks like that time of goal is going to come before the 40th minute, as evidenced by 83% for before 40 and 100% before 50. So PSG against Toulouse in the past 3 seasons has scored their first goal before the 50th minute in 100% of those matches. Looking down in the historical scorelines, you can see the high scoring results in the past games, but what we're going to look at next is the next criteria, which is team versus group. Since we like PSG for a goal here, we're going to select Ligue 1, use PSG as our reference team against the opponent, which is Group 4 side Toulouse. I'm going to click on Go. This is going to show us how PSG has played against Group 4 sides in the past 3 seasons. Same thing, PSG dominates this fixture, 21 wins, 7 draws. However, average match goal goes down to 2.71, and first half over 0.5 goes down to 64%. Since this is under 75%, we generally don't like that. Looking specifically at PSG, we still like their very high score rate of 89%, but again, the question is, when is that time of goal going to come? We'll see that the time of goal before drops down to before 70. When we looked at head-to-head, before 50 was 100%, now it's only 61%. Time of goal before 70, still high at 75%. So the stats are painting a little bit of a different picture here, saying that in PSG versus this category of group of teams, which is Group 4, they don't generally score before the 40th minute or the 50th minute. They generally score in the second half. And you can also see here PSG score first half, only 57%, so not a high stat. What I want to show you next is why we love to use stats when making our bets, because they paint a very good picture. What I'm going to show you next is I want to show you how PSG have been playing this season. So I'm just going to select overall and click on Go. This is the default menu. I'm just going to change it to this season. I'm just going to show you how PSG has played this season. Since this is an away game, I'm going to change this filter to away. This is where I got to love the stats because it called this game perfectly. Look at this, first half over 0.5 drops to 33%. PSG has played 12 away games so far this season. So, PSG has scored in 92% of those games. But you'll see their score in the first half is only 25%. That tells us that in 3 of those 12 games, or 1/4 of those games, have they actually scored in the first half. That paints a completely different picture as to the team versus group and the head-to-head stats. So, what we ended up doing in this match is The tip was PSG score in the second half. Let's see what actually happened. At halftime, fortunately, it was 0-0, and when we were about to place our PSG score second half bet, we saw that the premium only returned 4% higher than match goal over 0.5 bet. We had been watching the game, and Toulouse actually had the better chances in the first half, looked very strong, and even though the stats didn't point to a Toulouse goal, we decided let's wait the extra minute and take the match goal over 0.5, just because there was a very small price difference. Long and behold, what happened, PSG did end up scoring the goal in the 73rd minute. And our bet did prove right, and this shows exactly why we like to take a look at 3 criteria in selecting our bets. What one criteria might show might be a completely different story using a different criteria. So that's it for this week's bet review. Thanks for taking the time, and see you next week after another successful weekend of bets.